Hey guys, welcome back to the Kiefer's Customs channel. If you watched the last video, you will know that we are building a roll cage. So last time I got the main hoop done, got it in primer. We're at the point where that's dry, so we need to start fitting it in the car and start working on those rear tubes and do a whole bunch of welding. So let's just dive right into it. Okay, I got the main hoop sitting back in here. I started working on these plates. I bashed it kind of reasonably flat, and then I grinded it down, kind of put a divot in both of these a little bit. I'll have to divot it a little bit more, but the rear plates are kind of in place where exactly they're going to be. And then the fronts, did the same thing. I cleaned out this whole area. That corner is a pain in the ass because there's all this like sealant and shit. Yeah, it worked. I think I would have liked to have this in the center of this, but the way I bent it, I probably could have done a better job. But it's probably best that I put it as far up in there as I possibly can, because then it'll tie it into the double layered metal right there. Plus, it'll have an angle in it, so it'll actually keep it stronger. So I think I'll be okay with that. This one, yeah, about the same. I definitely. I didn't get the tubing perfectly straight. I could have done a better job because there's going to be a little bit of a gap on this side, and it's going to be basically up against it on that side in order to keep everything else the same, because I took measurements like here just to make sure that everything was the same spacing and everything was sitting up level. But I think it's going to work. At this point, I need to start working on these rear bars. So I need to figure out my angles and figure out yeah, how I'm going to do that. Okay, I've been busy. I created 2 of the rear bars and made them exactly the same. Yeah, and notched them and everything. I already test fit them. Should work. So yeah, so I need to clean these up, make sure it's clean enough for paint and all that stuff before I weld it in. I mean, obviously I can sand it after the fact, but it'd be easier now. And then I think the next step is I need to drill holes in the floor so that I can yeah, drop the cage down after I get it tacked. So I'll drill those holes, then I'll come back in here, mock it up, tack it in, then drop it down so I can weld it. I think yeah, I think that's where we're at. Okay, I got this bar tacked in up there. Got a little too close to the headliner and definitely burned it a little bit. I mean, I was already considering pulling this headliner out anyway and either redoing it or just taking it out altogether. So I guess yeah, now it's probably gonna happen, but at least it's tacked in. That was such a fucking pain in the ass because everything kept moving. Even with, like, I had this one magnet thing and I have all those magnets over there. I really needed more. I need to buy more of these fucking things. But at least that one, yeah, that one's at least tacked up there. So now I can tack this one in, and then I can drop it down. I already drilled the holes underneath those plates. Yeah, let's tack that one in. Okay, like you can see, I got both of those tacked in. I pulled the plates out, so now it's dropped down. So now there's like room up here. I can actually like pull it forward too if I need to get to some different angles. So I think this is yeah, I think this is gonna work. So I need to fully weld those top bars, and I can keep going. Okay, this is what I was able to do. I just kind of laid it down, and then I was able to weld over the top of those. Got both of those welded. Now I can, yeah, kind of put it back in position, I suppose. Okay, it's back in position, and I actually lied. I did a little bit more welding. I welded in some gussets in those corners. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's a little dark in here, but yeah, it yeah, fits pretty good. It did warp it a little bit, so I'm gonna have to kind of push down on this one. I welded in to get it kind of into position, but it's yeah, at least that part's done. Well guys, I started painting. I left this spot unpainted for a reason. That way I can grab it and move it around to get it positioned, and then I'll finish painting once it's welded in. But for the moment, I wanted to get the whole outside and the top done so that I don't have to worry about that after it's welded in, because obviously if I tried to do it after it was welded in, it was gonna be really, really difficult to get up to the top. But now that it's all, the outside of that is all painted, I need to go get some more paint because I definitely ran out also. But let it dry for a little bit, and then I'm gonna position it, so we can weld it in. All right, guys, she's all burned in. It's all welded up. I ended up making the plates to the floor and the tubes to the plates because it was just too dirty. It was gonna take goddamn forever, and it was just, yeah, so much easier to fucking make it. But, you know, at least the rest of it's TIG, so that looks nice. I mean, it still looks pretty good, but yeah, I did, as you can see, I got the plastics in there. I actually cut the window trim plastic because I knew it was gonna hit. It did hit the black plastic a little bit. I had to push it pretty hard to get it in there, but at least it's in there. I mean, realistically, I don't think there's any reason I'd ever have to pull that plastic all the way out. Obviously, if I need to get to the, you know, the strut bolts, I can reach in through the speaker holes or pull this over a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I do need to do some touch-up paint because I scratched the fuck out of it trying to get the plastics on. So we're gonna do that now so that it can sit with paint on it and dry before I finish doing the rest of it. All right, so I did the touch-up paint and I actually did some undercoating here. I'm going to do the whole trunk pan, I think, but the stupid can I got from O'Reilly's like gummed up like right away. Like after I got these done, it was like, nope, I'm done. So I got these done. Touch-up painted those. I did paint that bar there. I need to go through and I'm gonna do a little bit of clear coat and then I'll be done with that part. But yeah, I got base plates are all done. They're all undercoated, painted. Looking good, guys. Just remembered, I forgot to tell you guys what color this is. You know what it is? It's Electron Blue Pearl, because of course it is. It's, if you don't know, it's 99 to 2000 SI specific paint color. It's a dope ass color. All right, I just went through, undercoated the whole trunk pan back here. I didn't go that far because we're still gonna be running the rear seat, so I don't need to do any of that, but at least the trunk pan will all be done because this is gonna be, you know, visible because the carpet isn't gonna cover it all up. So I figured, you know what, we'll cover it, make it look good. And undercoating is just so nice. The sprayable undercoating is so nice to use because you don't really have to clean it that much. You can literally just like vacuum it up and just spray it on because it sticks to literally anything. It's great. So yeah, I'm gonna let that dry and then we'll start reassembling some more. Starting to get some more together. I got the carpet kind of cut and set in there. Obviously I'm getting new carpet eventually. Right now this shitty carpet will work. I'm starting to get more of the interior back together. I've got it all clipped in. Speakers are in, covers are in, this rear cover's in. It's really starting to look really fucking good, guys. Just really need to get the rear seat in and yeah, start working on the harnesses in the front seats, all that kind of stuff. I did put the center seat belt in. I decided I'm not gonna run the side ones, but I'm gonna have the center one in there because you could still crawl under here and sit back here. Technically, I probably should have put the left one in because that probably would have made the most sense, but I didn't think about it until after the panel's on. So yeah, we're just gonna run the center one, but nobody's actually gonna sit back there, so it doesn't really matter. Oh man, you guys, it's so good. Look how good that motherfucker fits with the seats in there. Oh dude, it's so good. It like literally just barely touches the seat on both sides. I could not have nailed that more perfectly. Oh, it's so good. Getting somewhere, guys. Got the driver's seat back in. Got the harness on this side installed. I need to zip tie those up still, but yeah, it's in there. I test fit, everything seems to work. That's pretty much where my driving position is gonna be. So you can see that's how much space I have between there and the cage, which is nice. It's nice and tight, which is good. The one problem is I did buy 5-point harnesses and I can't run the 5th harness because I don't have a hole in the seat. So I'm gonna have to get a different seat at some point. But for the moment, a 4-point harness will work. It's better than not having seat belts at all, obviously. But yeah, it'll work. So now I need to put the other side in, but in order to do that, I've also got a fire extinguisher mount that I got from like Honed Performance. And it's a pretty simple bracket, but I just need to drill a couple holes in there, mount a fire extinguisher to it. That way I can mount it, yeah, to the seat bottom, so I'll have a fire extinguisher. So that's the next thing I need to do. And done. I even zip tied these things up so they're out of the way, looking nice. Fire extinguisher mounted in there, works pretty good. It's I will say it's really close to the adjuster, but it's yeah, it's still gonna work. I'll still be able to get it out of there. I did have to washer it up underneath the bolts so that it didn't like crush the metal, but it worked out pretty good. One thing I did notice is that I didn't even really think about it when I was building the cage, but like because of where I put the cage, I built it for me, right? It's like perfect for me. I didn't even think about the fact that like yeah, I didn't think about the passenger. So the passenger, yeah, I mean, if you're taller than me, it might be a problem. I mean, there's still going to be a little bit of leg room because obviously there's no steering wheel in the way, and you'll have a little bit. I don't know. They'll probably be okay, but if you're real tall, you're probably not going to fit. But yeah, I mean, at some point, obviously, I do want to get a new driver's seat because I need to switch to 5-point harnesses because 4-point is not the greatest idea, especially on the road course. Yeah, I think what I'll end up doing is probably moving that driver's seat to the passenger side and then getting a fixed bucket for the driver's side. But for the moment, you know, this is going to work. I like how it looks. It fits, everything fits so nice with the cage. I wish my windshield wasn't so dirty so you could see through there, but it's so good, guys. It fits so awesome. Nice. So I've been driving it around with the roll bar and the harnesses and all that stuff now. It's good. It's really good. These harnesses hold you in nice. Like you can just feel that like the cage stiffened the car up. Like it feels more solid for sure. Yeah, it's pretty good. The only thing that I will say that I am having a problem with and I'm not a big fan of is that I don't have that 5th anti-submarine harness, the 5th point. I definitely need to get a new driver's seat so I can fix that because I don't like this only a 4-point. It doesn't like it. I mean, it feels better than the stock seat belt, but it's still, I don't know. It doesn't feel right, and I know it's not the safest thing in the world. I definitely need to get a new seat. So I think that might be the next thing on the agenda, but otherwise, I'm super happy with this. This is good. So now that the cage is done, there was people that were going to meet up and to go do some racing, and I had finished doing the nitrous on the Mini Cooper that I had sold to my buddy, and now it's turned up to 150 shot, and we needed to test it out. So we were like, well, let's go out and do that. So got some racing action for you. So let's get to that. Hell yeah, guys. That was a good night. The car did great. The only loss I had was to that Mach 1, and that Mach 1 was like, I don't even know how much power he had. It was all sorts of shit done to it. Like, it was stout for sure. He only got me by like a bumper. I mean, granted, he was still pulling, but it was a good race. Um, yeah, I mean, all the races were really freaking good. That honestly, when I pulled up to that Skyline, me and my buddy both pulled up to him, and we thought it was a fast one because there's a faster one in town. We roll up to that guy, and like they took off and had probably two cars on me before I even took off, and I was in second. And it blew the tires off, and I mean, you saw what happened, but it was like passed him like it was parked, and I was when we got back from those first few races, I was like, dude, why did I waste nitrous? I could have raced all those guys off the bottle, but I didn't know because I didn't know the guys. But yeah, I mean the racing was great. The Mini Cooper, honestly, it did really good, but the problem was it was kind of on the lower side of the bottle, so it was like running out of pressure towards the end of the night, so it was getting slower and slower. But I mean, honestly, like that's kind of what I figured would happen. Like if I raced, without nitrous versus the Mini on 150 shot, that's pretty much what it should have done. So I mean, the Mini was doing good. But I mean, yeah, I'm really happy with the car. It was nice to get a bunch of races in and all that stuff. And like obviously the cage, like it feels so solid. It's so good. Yeah. There's a lot more things coming. I've got some more things in the works. So there should be another video coming out hopefully sometime soon. But for the moment, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things, and peace out.